on to see if it works.
She was not really that
Yeah.
smart.
That's it.
She was just really,
That's neat.
it went the right place.
Yeah.
Morning, morning. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Hello.
Did you ride your bike?
No. It looks like here in about 15 minutes, it's gonna be pretty steady. It started raining pretty good when I come down, but quit again.
It was a good day to ride yesterday.
Yeah, I did ride yesterday.
Wow, it was a nice day.
Stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can call the meeting to order. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for October 11th. Okay,
I'll second.
all in favor? Aye.
All right,
Motion passed.
make a motion that we approve the minutes for October 4th, 2022.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, meetings attended.
I don't think I had anything. I might have, I think I'm gonna let you know. But I don't think I did.
I didn't have nothing. Neither.
Not in there? Yes.
Yeah, just that one, just mention. Okay, you got nothing, Chris? Okay, the only thing I had was, getting this concrete done. Looks good.
Yes, it does.
We'll drive on it Friday. We'll open the parking lot up Friday.
I'm surprised you got it striped so fast.
Yeah, I had them come down yesterday.
Did they?
They showed up about 7 o'clock, so we got it all striped and, out of Muscatine.
Okay.
Got the sidewalks done in front. We had them all done and we noticed that, must have been when he's running the buggy across it, cracked a couple of the older ones. So we changed them out and that's what they're pouring. I was gonna pour 10, we're gonna move it to 2 after the rain comes through. And then they'll pour in between the building here and the step at the courthouse. And then they're gonna take a week off till we get the windows done. We're waiting on metal.
Oh, get the windows, get them guys out of it before they start over there. Yeah, you got it.
So crack new cement again. Right. So, that's what we got going on. They're inside right now, just patching some of the places. I don't know if you guys looked at the windows over there, but there's some places where plasters came loose and we had one in the jury room that was bad before we started, the windows, but, it's needs attention. So the whole lintel's gonna fall down. Shades, I think I talked to you guys. I just haven't got a price back. You got one yet?
No, she never contacted me.
Okay. So I'll check on that and see where that's at and what else we got going on. Boilers is supposed to have been fired up yesterday. I'll go check and see if they did. But I hope they got them all ready. If they was wiring them up, and I'll see where they're at. I don't know if they put the new pressure thing on, but that's what it was. That's what caused all the problems. And he was supposed to be there. Rock House ordered it. He's supposed to have been there end of last week, but I talked to Tracy, but I didn't ask him about that, so. Oh, we have one handicap. We was gonna put 2, but it would put us down to 9 stalls. So one's anything under 25, one's meets the code, but we have 13 stalls here, so including handicap, so. That's it.
And I just noticed quite a bit of broken glass over there along
From
the courthouse.
That big window broke and we'll get that vacuumed up. You mean around this side,
Yeah, like
like in
the
the cracks?
handicap,
Yeah.
area.
We're gonna tear all that out hopefully next week because some of it fell down in the cracks, but when we took that great big one out, it broke a lot of glass. But you see, we got all the windows in now. All the new windows are in complete So, yep, now we're just trying to get everything fixed up and get them lined. I hope we don't have to wait on metal. It's supposed to be here last week. It's supposed to be in Cedar Rapids Friday. And I called yesterday and it hasn't showed up yet. So I went out and got a roll of, it's just a different for the inside, so it won't make a difference. So we'll wait for the other one to show up. Hopefully this week. Okay. Nobody on Zoom? Nobody waiting to get in? You guys got anybody got any input, anything? Payroll changes, I did pass that. Go ahead.
I guess one thing I just remember, we got the registered letter with that we was named in on the deal out in front of me. We got a registered letter on it. Isn't it?
Yes.
Spring.
Oh, yeah.
Spring Street or
Yes.
that deal. And I'm talking with the county attorney about it as of yesterday and whether we need to, it's a meeting on Friday at 10 and it's whether we need to be there or not, or can be, or what. I guess we were named in it because the supervisors in 1999 had illegally give away a lot, but they went through the proper processes according to our county engineer. But the county attorney's looking into it all more and they'll get back.
And what day is that gonna be, Chris?
Friday at 10 o'clock. So I'm not for sure we can even be there.
Or should be there, that's what I was wondering too. Do we
They've
are we there
even-
at that point?
Condemn some of the family farm and I don't think we can even be there as the family farm.
Hmm.
Tell me where this process got brought up.
Yeah. Maybe we can run that, you can talk.
But
about it.
I've been talking with Adam.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had a phone call from a local farmer, who was talking about how dry it is. He said, are you guys considering any kind of a burn ban until we get some rain? Well, maybe today will be okay. We'll get some rain, but that was 2 days ago. He was questioning that. And I said that I would bring it up to you two, but I said his first, I believe that he's in the east of Columbus Junction. I said I'd contact fire departments, both fire departments, Letts and Columbus Junction, because that could make things happen faster, and we're gonna go off their advice. If there would be some type of burn ban instituted in the county. He said thanks, and that he would contact both fire departments. So
Maybe in a day or
I'm
two.
gonna I'll have a public health meeting today, and I'll see Lynn Meitzer, who is the fire chief. I'll ask him if he got contacted, and if they have any desire on doing anything like that. The fire department need to contact us.
On the radio, it's usually proclaimed by the sheriff.
Okay. Well, there's a process, and I don't know if it has to go through here, but I think that was correct in telling him to contact fire departments. But I wanted to let you guys know that I did have a phone call, and that discussion with local farmer.
looks like today we'll all get a little water that needed.
Yeah.
I know the farmers don't want it right now, but you gotta have water.
You had a break in 3 weeks.
Okay, here's the.
Okay, I got, just looking this over here.
You wanna do the payouts?
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at right here. Where's Nicole going?
The same place that Tony Hammer works, whatever company that is.
Yeah, I'll start. And Selena, looked these over, they're all up. And
Yeah.
Both of these are okay then? Okay.
Well, I'll make a motion that we, sign the resignation payout for Nicole Malcolm in the treasurer's office.
Okay,
Second.
any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Number 7.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we, sign the resignation payout for John Brotherton of jailer.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I will, can I jump down to 16? It's just got later,
Sure.
I guess. I'll make a motion to approve the recorder's first quarter report.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in
Yeah,
favor?
it's amazing that they bring in $66,000 in that office and we get 18. The state gets 48. State ought to pay part of the wages
Okay.
for our employees. You know, that's a lot of money that, and there's a lot of work involved there, and the state gets money for it.
And they used to have an office.
Whatever.
Counties.
I think we've had this discussion before. And nothing changes. Okay, I have this right here from this thank you letter, $1,000 received from our continued annual support for family resources. We do that every year,
Yes.
and that's just part of the, okay.
Until you
Okay.
the crow's nest.
I thought that's for what? The crow's nest? Well,
No,
No,
no, it's just like doing it for them.
You get 500 to YWCA, and
Yep.
1,000 to Muscatine.
Okay, so I
For
was
the
just,
battered women shelters.
I thought so. I just saw the thank you and wanted to make sure that's what was going on.
It came in the mail.
Yep. Here's Tracy's work orders. I'll give it back to you.
Chris, I give you number 10.
I handed it on to Randy.
I've got it laying right here, but we can't do that until after.
10 and 11 have to wait till after the public hearing.
Yep, we gotta wait till 9:15 to have the public hearing.
As far as I think.
9 and 10,
As far as I know, she is.
right?
Or, well,
9 and
10,
10. No.
10 and 11 are the rest.
9.
So we're waiting on Adam, and then public
Oh.
hearing, and
Then we got it, okay.
I think we got all
After the amendment, then we transfer.
Yeah.
Okay,
the,
okay.
get the ambulance report.
I've got it. It's coming back to you. It looks like 4 calls this month, correct?
Yeah.
damage down in Florida.
What's that?
Do you have any damage down in Florida?
No, my, the house that, they had, I never had anything, no problems at all. And the canal's just about 20 feet away and it never got inside. And they live in Fort Myers, I don't get it.
Mhm.
Boy, Grange is messing up.
Yes, it is.
How many apartments got lost?
7?
What I've heard, there's 7 displaced families
That's,
and 3 businesses.
And a post office, that's the.
Well, I think
Yeah.
maybe that's one of the businesses that was being,
I don't
when they
know.
say 3.
Come back to them.
I would guess it wouldn't.
Too bad.
how many businesses? 3.
3, and I think they're counting the post office.
I know, I seen it Muscatine
And JJ's the tavern, but I don't know what the other one was, but at one time, Carrie Slater had her beauty parlor in there. It was not now. I don't know if something else was in there or not.
I don't think
I
so.
think it was an apartment now.
Maybe it had been made into an apartment, so I don't know where they come up with 3 businesses, but whatever, it's still,
Rumor has it, he didn't have insurance. And that'd be devastating. It don't take much in them old buildings to burn. I mean, the way they're built, my gosh.
But
I don't believe that they could get insurance.
Probably not.
Was the problem.
he just, he,
Those older buildings.
Well, and in that garage area, you could hear stuff exploding, so they couldn't really go in there. They didn't know what was gonna blow up with gas cans.
struggling small town, that's gonna make it harder for them.
There's our opportunity, to go in there, as I've told everybody, level that off and build a nice building like they've got down at Yarmouth, the filling station, that restaurant, put a bar, restaurant. Revive our little town,
Takes investment.
post office in one corner of it.
Nobody wants to invest in a small community.
Spend $1 million on that corner.
Easy. Since there's no insurance, probably spend 200,000 cleaning it up.
I don't know what that's gonna involve. We had a big discussion on that this
You
morning.
can't take that stuff to landfill anymore.
Well,
Can't bury it.
You can tell when fire, if there's red bricks, the smoke just turned
Turn
orange.
Orange, yeah. That thing was hot. Yeah, the good thing about it, nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
They said that one wall, that's when they brought Jay in, that one wall fell out in the street. There's, in New York, it does it all, it kills firemen and bystanders. Them big walls fall and the bricks start
Oh, yeah.
flying when they hit.
did they bring a machine in and push it in? I didn't know
Yeah, he was there at 9:30,
that night.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Really?
had the big
I get, well, that was,
bucket head like.
Okay, I wasn't-
boom on it.
I was there, we was over eating.
That's why it
tacos.
was all leveled.
We was over eating tacos and come back, I suppose about 8:30, 9:15, went actually up there and stood in the yard there. Jerry Yeagle's father-in-law's
Oh,
burning house.
mhm.
Stood in the yard and talked to them and watched it, and everything was standing. But that was before 9 o'clock. Now, the next morning I drove by and I couldn't believe how flattened everything was.
Yeah,
They
Jay,
had Jay in there, pusher in, okay.
Jay was pushing it over.
That accounts for what, the difference that there was that night versus the next morning.
Yeah, because there'd be a lot of people going through it and that's all they
Well, I
need.
was
something.
walking down the street, you don't want that stuff falls. I can see the vault in there,
Yeah,
see the bank vault.
It withstood the fire.
Mhm.
It withstood the fire good.
Well, I suppose the door would, but it's junk. I mean, you can't let them burn up. They burn that hard, there's nothing.
they said the
Right.
top caved in on it.
The brass and the top and the door would be all,
Said when they pushed the wall in, the top caved in
Yeah.
because it was so hot,
because it was a
rounded.
rounded top, bricked up vault. The door would have been neat and all of that mechanism, but that's junk.
Mhm. Was the heat.
I thought that I wanted some of that out of the West Bank, and was over there looking at it. Through the years of sitting there with the roof in, it was junk. Total junk, total. But it had sat with the roof in on it, rusted and this and that. Now, what's worse, sitting out in the weather and rusting, or hot fire?
Both are not good.
Yeah, everything's junk.
Yeah, one lets, I used to play in that all the time. That was my uncle's restaurant.
Yep, oh yeah.
I remember I worked sheriff's office, went over there and had a break and enter, and I went downstairs and there was a guy hiding in the crawl space down there. You talking about startling me. I was thinking nobody was there. Here's a guy peeking around the corner. I still remember that building down there. It was like a ghost ship anyway, because downstairs it was an old building, had all these tunnels for crawl spaces under the pillars. Just caught a glimpse of that guy looking at me at that. Gun came out pretty quick. I seemed like I was back in, that was a long time ago. Hell, that was 40 some years ago. Thanks, Andy. And when you guys go out by this, if you go out by this corner, be careful. Them walnuts are hitting that.
Yeah.
I had two hit me in the shoulder yesterday. We was out there striping it. My God, I like
Do you
missing.
think the sky was falling?
Oh, it tell you what. You hit this ground out here, so like it's gonna break the concrete. I'm just glad we had it all poured and set up dry. Hey, Adam, how you doing?
All right. Hello, everybody.
Morning, how are you?
Good morning.
Okay.
Raining out there.
Oh,
Let's just,
I was with him last night.
All right.
Hey, thank you.
Yep. No. Morning. What's going on today? Construction wise, they're doing the trail up in Columbus. If the weather allows, they're milling today and got half of it done yesterday. All the milling, all the asphalt work done and all that. So I think it's progress there. Hopefully, if weather allows, they'll get almost all of it done today. So they'll have to do a little cleanup and rocking and stuff like that tomorrow. Hopefully just be done with the whole thing by the end of the week. So
Good. This has been in the make for 3 years,
what?
probably about 3 years.
no.
2014, I believe, is when Larry
First started, was it over, geez, my God.
Yeah, eight years, I believe is the thing.
Wow. It's
No,
kind of,
Jim had a good write up on it last week. I think it was 14, wasn't it, Jim?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Okay, so,
My gosh.
it's been put out to bid twice.
so. Anyway, get that done and getting into the construction season for the year, so. A lot of things going on. The crews are patching concrete out on the sheriff department's road out there, G56. Getting that done. I think that's gonna be our last patch, so we'll get them done and get done with that part of our program for the year. And in between then and now, we'll do a few culvert cleaning and some bridge repairs and stuff like that, and then we'll get moving on sand and salt, getting some of it brought in and mixed up and all that. Doing interviews for our trucker position. We only had 5 or 6 applicants. Chose three out of the hat to interview. All of them are good, probably probably overqualified, to be honest. So anyway, we'll interview them and make a decision here later this week and get back to full strength again here for a while anyway. So I guess big agenda item is approving plans and specifications for 160th Greenview bypass. I guess I'm not sure where to start talking about first. So I'm going to go through kind of the project development path, or as I see. So phase one is purchase right away, and we've got the deals negotiated on that. I've been working with Mr. Parsons to get deeds and that kind of stuff done. That's all done, and we'll get it to Sandy for recording in our recorder's office and all that going on. Cost for right away is about $34,000, and that would come out of our fiscal 20 this year's construction budget.
Okay.
Phase two would be grade and rock and base treat that thing. So that'd be to widen out the road. Top of our earth would be a 44-foot wide, which will allow us to construct a 24-foot wide paved top with shoulders and all of that. So,
What size shoulders is gonna be on that road?
well, depending, it'd probably be four. I'm probably going to pave it as 24-foot wide. So we would need to have 3-foot wide shoulders. It'll probably be a little bit wider than that when it's built.
Adequate for people to walk on the shoulder.
Adequate walk on, and we could widen that out a little bit too. I mean, there's the top of the earth width, right? Is probably a little bit wider than what we typically do, but it's to accommodate those kind of things. So.
Okay. That's grade rock, and then what did you say was a
Grade rock,
rock,
and then we would improve the base. And either that would be 10 inches of a combination of macadam stone, which is a larger rock, which is what they did out on the solar farm out there. And you guys have all seen that. And that thing's been doing pretty well.
Oh, good.
So options, we're going to provide alternates. One is to provide 5 inches of macadam stone, which is a heavier rock, and then 5 inches of regular rock on top of it. Option one. Option two would be to grade it out and do 6 inches and then mix in a chemical to straighten the base. And option three is to cement treat the base, which basically they come with cement and they chew it up and inject the cement into it and roll it out and then just put a couple inches of rock on top of that because it's going to be super strong, which is what they did actually on the site at the solar farms. So I believe the macadam base, the traditional way of doing it is going to be cheap, but I kind of wanted to give options just so we have options out there. So my estimate to grade, widen, and we got to replace the culverts under all that because we put metal culverts under it back in 2017, and I don't want metal culverts under pavement, so upgrading those all to concrete, just get it done right, making sure that they're all tied so we don't have our issues there. It's about $470,000. I think I'm high, but I don't know, guys. And this cost is higher than it would have been a year ago, but it's probably not as high as it's going to be in the future. So best case with inflation, it flattens out, right? But I don't know the cost of anything is going to go down. So planning to pay that out of local construction, local funds for the initial phase of it. After that, plan would be to first apply a slag slag seal coat surface is what we got in front of the office and going down Beer Can Alley and stuff like that. Would seek to do that this late summer or fall. So we would bid the rock portion out November 29th. It would late start date of construction would be June. So if you guys can see, I'm hoping to get part of it in fiscal year and the other part of the fiscal year. So hopefully it'll be done by like August. We can go in there and get it slag sealed that people can use it for construct, traffic. And we know that that's going to be okay for a couple of years. It's not a 10-year surface on it or whatever. Okay, so once that's done, then next fall we would bid out either an asphalt or a concrete overlay on it. My thinking is the intersection down at G44X, and I got a picture of it, I guess. Here's a picture of what that would look like. So here's 160th, and here's G44X. We would replace the pavement here and put concrete back through that turn, because I don't like the idea of turning movements and all that on asphalt. I think asphalt is fine if you want straight, but once you get turning on it,
It'll sound scuffing it.
it's scuffing it, and I'm thinking that trucks coming from the north that wouldn't have to stop. They just roll through here. Trucks coming this way would stop, look, and go. And this would have a stop sign here, so traffic, so
If you head north on G44X, you'd have to stop,
and most of them are probably just gonna
roll through it.
roll through it, but I don't want these guys coming up on them, so. We looked at other options of making it a full 400 curve, and man, we're taking a lot of right away here, and it makes this intersection a little screwy, and it's just not great. So the rest of this would be designed for 55, but on the big curve there would be a chevrons, right? 55, we're going to slow them down to 45. But I think with the curves up above it to the north, it's kind of consistent. I mean, it's not a 65 mile per hour road. It's
Yeah, you've already went through some curves.
some curves.
You're gonna expect more curves,
Yeah.
let's hope.
But it definitely is going to get you around there a lot faster.
Yeah.
A lot faster and all that.
And that intersection would be lit, correct?
Yeah. So this concrete here, I'm guessing it's like a 180,000 itself for that. Now I would do the concrete and the paving as part of a farmer market expense.
Mhm.
So between this, we would let that out next fall. And I'm guessing to concrete that intersection and to add that asphalt portion to that bigger project we already have, doing Grandview, G48 and Oakville on that one, that probably, the concrete's 180 and the asphalt will probably be pushing 500,000. So we're looking at a $680,000 project to final pave that thing. Obviously, if we wanted to delay the cost, we've got a few years to do that because we've got a decent coat on that thing. We could keep on doing that if we wanted to. So that's the general years of things. Is that what you guys were thinking? Obviously, cost is higher than what we talked about, but. So, looking at budgeting, okay, fiscal 23 budget for construction had 350,000 in it. We spent 92 already on the W Avenue Bridge and the crossing of X 61, and that was about 23 grand under budget, so we're a little bit ahead there. But I have to pay for the trail deal, so that's 260,000 there, budget or contracts for 260. So that's going to eat up my fiscal 23 budget. Some of that is going to get reimbursed by the DOT and all that, and we're okay, but we'll have to get that money and push it back into the budget.
What was the reimbursement you thought it was gonna be on that?
Well, let me think here.
We're gonna get the tap.
Don't quote me on it. I think the TAP grant is 130 and reimbursement from the city is going to be 110 or so. So we'll pay about 20 on that. So I'm probably this spring going to need a budget amendment to pay for this. I'm thinking maybe 100. So of the 470 that we're going to spend on the rock and grading, probably 100 grand or so might come out of this year's budget. Maybe 150 if we get really ambitious contractors. I'd like to get it bid out, talk to them about their schedule, and then talk about a budget amendment, I don't know, in April or something like that. Good news is I got my annual report done, and last year we had about 314,000 that we didn't spend out of our budget, which is good, which is that bridge that we ended up not doing that bridge. So I think big picture, year to year, it's not it's not terrible, but obviously everything costs money, which is also the reason that we try to run an excess every year, because we'll have things and all that. So that's the plan as I see it, to go from where we're at now to have it rocked, and that first seal coat is $600,000 to get it there, and then we'll need some more to pave it, but that'll be FM money as well. So I guess that's kind of what we talked about.
Where are we at on borrowing ahead on farm to market? Are we gonna be, we 2 years left on the bridge?
So let me think here. So when we let out the bridge that we're letting out next month, right? I think that will put us 2 years ahead, or 2 years ahead. And then I think with the asphalt projects that we've been talking about, that I think we're going to stay between a year and 2 years ahead, which is $800,000 a year ahead. So I believe that we're going to do a couple projects, and then I'm going to take a year off to hopefully get 800 grand back in.
Yeah.
And all that. So
Without a catastrophic, do we have any big projects coming up on the table that we know about? I know there's going to be some probably unforeseen stuff, with storms and stuff, but
yeah, I mean, we've got the G28 up in the north corner there from Muscatine County up to Johnson County. That's about 3 miles there. I'm again debating on whether that's going to be asphalt or a concrete project. At the end of our program, we had some improvements to X37 around the corner there and up the junction and all that, and those are probably what's going to be, rather than be in 2027, probably be to 2028.
So it would fit if we did borrow ahead. It would fit our structure.
Yeah. The only thing I am wary about is that we are going to have some federal projects coming up, hopefully through all this, Infrastructure Act, and then the Safe Streets for All grants, and there's some of those things. So those things are going to need matches, and that can either be FM or local. So I think we can do it. It's it just pushes other things back, so.
Well, and I think if we do it early, because I think this other part you're coming into is like a 4-year, maybe pushing 5, we'll be caught up, hopefully by then, if we get this thing going now, to have it paid back, especially if we take a year off with 800,000, it won't take long to get caught back up to get to where we can match another project. That's why I was just kind of talking this out loud, because I know within 4 or 5 years, we have a lot of opportunities
Yeah.
coming toward us.
Yeah.
So-
Well, and the other thing is, you know, I mean, we definitely want and feel like we need to do the Grandview and the Oakville overlays. You know, there are worse pavements in the world out there than those are right now, so.
But you're staying ahead of the game, and that's.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, I always try to stay.
Don't get to a 78 where
No,
15 years
yeah,
ago we should have done it.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
so.
Somebody asked me the other day, and I made this statement, I hope I was correct with it, but we still plan on from X61 turnoff to come to town eventually with a paving project, from 99.
From Act 61 into Wapello?
Yeah,
Well, that is not currently on our 5-year plan. Our SDVG, which is the grant that we're using to do X17 and 305. The plan for that one is to go from X61 down to the county line.
I knew that one's.
As that
backwards.
phase, and hopefully add on a little paved shoulders and hopefully grants and stuff like that. I'm hoping with this federal dollars that maybe we could do X61 into Wapello, because that's in that disadvantaged area and potentially, and there's also like some flood.
Yeah.
You can claim flood damages and stuff like that, so.
Which is both of them. Yeah.
So we're working through that. I had a meeting last Thursday and I have another one this Thursday, kind of catching up with the engineers on the state of affairs on grants and kind of what's coming down the pike. And frankly, I think from the DOT and our group is, you know, these things were written, but it takes a long time to propagate the rules and what do these things all mean? So we're working through those things, and as soon as we get some better guidance, we'll get working on projects and all that. So anyway, I'm aware of those opportunities. I'm also aware, you know, we've got some pavements up in the Columbus area that were done in the 80s, and those kind of things are always kind of scaring me. I can see some wear and tear, and we're trying to do maintenance on them to keep them up and all that. So kind of like at the county, are always one step ahead of the fire, I guess, here. So.
Excellent.
Which again, so anyway, that's what's going on there. Any more questions about the details of the project? I guess I haven't shown you the details of the project, I guess, but I don't know if you guys are interested in it or not.
Absolutely.
You can pick which way it goes, but I don't know. Here's our options of a macadam base, and then base treated, and then there's a cement treated option.
Of course, that's expensive, more expensive.
Could be. I seen estimates. Well, I got estimates from contractors 1.5 years ago, and depends on the price of rock, right? If rock is expensive, the one that uses a bunch of rock is going to be more. Then you've also got cement, which price of cement is up. So
How much density is the cement into that rock? And do you add water, or you let
So-
nature do it?
So when you do the cement treatment, you actually grade the earth to where it's supposed to be, come back in with a tiller and mix 4% of the weight of the soil with cement.
Gotcha.
Get that, put it in place, compact it, and then just put 4 inches of rock on top of it. So
basically, it just gives it a better base.
it turns earth into concrete pretty much. I had a project. Anybody familiar with there's a chicken hatchery up in Wilton, And I was a consultant then, and we give us some estimates, and we thought the thing was dead. And then the owner contacted us in like January, and he wanted to break ground in May 1st up there, and that whole area is a swamp. And I'm like, I don't know. We got to it, and we got a couple weeks out, and it was wet and typical Iowa April or whatever. And so we talked to them about hiring a company to come in and base treat it, and they came in, the base treated the whole thing, and it worked out well for them. But it does have a cost, but sometimes you got to look at the cost
Right.
options, and maybe they don't have a lot of work that time of year, and they want to hit it hard or something. So I think the other good thing about that is some of the companies that do that base trading are bigger companies. That's your Moina and your other huge companies. So maybe that'll get them interested and hopefully drive prices on everything down. So
Yeah, hold that thought, we gotta open that.
I'll make a motion to open up the public hearing for the county budget amendment.
And I'll second that.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, I've laid it out, and we'll if it's approved, we'll go ahead and get it out to contractors and hopefully bid November 22nd, which is not a DOT bid late date, and hopefully we're hitting a good time again. I know last time we did something in November, we actually had some pretty good luck, but we'll see. So, yeah, a couple things I want to talk about. So, here's that house is up here on old 61.
Yeah, Thompson Gold House.
Yeah, it comes through, and we're kind of matching the horizontal alignment there. We're kind of tipping it a little bit to help. So I've driven that thing in my work truck, and I can, on the gravel, I can hit 40 fairly comfortably. I think 45 or 50, it feels a little iffy there. But with it paved and tipped like that, I think, you should be able to hit 45 or 50 on it. Obviously in a truck, you're probably gonna want to slow down a little bit there, but we're doing a little bit of work on the curve here, because it's kind of a line thing.
Yeah, because it goes up.
So my thinking is, once this is all graded and rocked and all that and seal coated, and whenever we do it, we can just lay a continuous asphalt the whole way down to the intersection. So here's a big curve, and we're taking that and widening it out a little bit and flattening it, replacing the culverts. Another cost I didn't specify, I just remember it. There are some field tiles there that we'll have to get, probably Springsteen or Kent in there to do some tile work to get a few of those things that's right now.
Is any of our utilities that was put in on the shoulder that gonna affect any of this?
No,
Because it's actually put on
yeah.
So it kind of held us
West
up.
Lane.
So so we went out and surveyed where we had them located, and we surveyed all the locations, and then I assumed they were 3 foot deep. So in every cross section, I show where it should be. So my plan was to try to match that north side of the road now with the shoulder. So if it comes up like this, right, we would match there and protect that up.
Okay.
So that the new road would be, you can see it's at least a foot or two higher than what's there now, and it's also moved south.
That was the first one that I didn't really care for them putting it on our
Yeah.
roadway. They did it right along the road,
Yeah. So
but you can work by it and you know where it's at, so.
So here's the intersection. Again, I'm still kind of messing around with this, and maybe it'll give us a good deal when this is done first time. The seal coating, we can kind of see how traffic goes there and find it out. But we've got a 100-foot radius there and a big wide opening here, so we can, traffic can do that movement. did look, got a roundabout there, but didn't quite fit, so.
There's still a house.
There's a house up here.
Up there.
Yeah, it's Hades there, so.
Yeah.
If, they actually put money wants to buy some land off from them. Didn't need it at this point, so.
And with that intersection there, how's that gonna affect that secondary road?
Right here?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna put a little bit of pavement, on it, so that when those trucks made that turn, they were cutting, it also allowed us to paint a stoplight on there, and that's nice and stuff like that.
Because I was wondering if somebody off of that new road coming through wanted to go straight,
They would have to
they'd have to make a
jog
jog.
around,
Yeah.
so. And, you know, I can see in the future, 20 years down the road, this is all the gravel. We aren't there yet, so. I was gonna replace this pavement too on G 44X. Maybe even start to tip this way a little bit more, just to kind of
Make that-
assure people this is the way, and
That's the
we're
right
paint
way.
that, and this
Yeah.
is the way, don't go that way,
Yeah.
and all that, so. So that's where we're at, I guess. So,
No, you got a lot of thought into this.
yeah. And then I've been working on it for a year, and I get down to it, I'm like, I don't like that, so I change a couple things at the end of the day, so.
You thought it out, and
Yeah.
we just done that the first time. We wouldn't have this discussion today.
Yep, I agree. Anyway, here's the title sheet. You guys have a motion to approve.
You wanna make it? Get back to it.
Whoever's turn.
I'll make a motion to approve the plans and specifications for project LCO 58-160th-3 grading and granule surfacing for the Grandview bypass.
Second motion.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
So Brad's the chair, Brad is signing on the bottom, you just sign up above, so.
What he has, I don't think I'll get it. That's just his plans.
Okay.
I don't have to. And here is the one that I was gonna bring back.
You don't have fun already, maybe?
All right, well, that's
This is
that.
the ornament. I always bring back the next week because I have to print it off the deal inside. So I sent the link here and I printed it, so we do the budget amendment. That's that.
So,
It's what's printed in paper.
probably in addition to the cost of this, we would have probably have to amend budget at some time for fuel.
You think in April?
We usually do one in the
Yeah.
spring before the end of the fiscal year,
Yeah.
so.
Because of fuel,
How long?
Well, it's just, I think that,
huh? It's double
double,
from what you budgeted.
yeah, so.
And that'd only be done, how long does it take the town to come through and DOT, how long does it take them to reimburse us for that 250,000?
I don't know, you know, we'll be done with the project next week and go through paperwork, hopefully not too long.
So you might not need.
Well, the thing is with the budget,
It's not like a checkbook that it goes in and comes out. You
Yeah.
have to, it's two
re-budget
separate.
it. I have to have you put it into the income end, right?
Yeah, income
Yeah,
and
yeah.
expenditures.
We would have the money, I just don't have the authority to spend the money.
Gotcha.
And that's just the way it works, so it's kind of, you know, when we get money from FEMA, it's great, but
It's kind of like at home, he has to ask
Yes, yes. Which is part of the reason why our, why we had extra money last year, because we get money in, but you can't spend it.
Spend it, yeah.
Which, that's fine, because then you can spend on the next project, so.
I just didn't know the timeline on the tap, if it's 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
And DOT is usually pretty quick because it's already in the budget.
True, but we're also dealing with trails people. And they're,
Slower to pay, huh?
they're just. I'm guessing we're gonna, at the end of this, we're gonna be out there with a fine tooth comb measuring every inch of it and all that, so. Okay, guys, well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Can we go ahead and close the public hearing, please?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
It was on 10 minutes. All in favor?
I have it, but I haven't signed it yet, so I wouldn't want a, a draft, because then people are gonna.
So we can do both,
Get upset.
Yeah, I've
if I
got the
have a
first
draft.
resolution right here in front of me.
At some
The other one,
point.
you got the other one?
Yes.
Okay,
Not there yet, 'cause, people get it.
which one do you have ready?
okay, I've got, I'm gonna make a motion to sign the resolution 2255. Which is the amendment itself. Make a motion to pass that amendment.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Yeah, additional expenditure, it was an additional expenditure of $1,293,588 for expenditures. Now revenue for a total of $958.63 in additional revenue. So that's the resolution, bringing that in and sending that out.
Okay. All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, and I'll make a motion, we sign resolution 56, approving interfund transfer from loss to general basic of $175,000 to pay for boilers and the ambulance.
yes. Okay, I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, you both reviewed the ambulance report, correct?
Yep.
So next week, you'll probably have one moving that money back from the ambulance into the jail.
Yep.
That I took the money originally to, just so you're aware.
So what do we got? Roxanne, Katie, and conservation?
Good morning, Roxanne.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good. Board of Health meeting today. I'm gonna just kind of run down that agenda, honestly, just so I don't forget to tell you guys anything. Board of Health meeting today at 1:30 though. On the environmental health side, we're gonna be looking at re-upping the Grants County's contract that allows for well water testing and mitigation. Similar to previous years, that's up for renewal. And then also the 28E agreement that allows Russ to provide the pool, tattoo, and tanning inspections for Louisa County on behalf of IDPH. So those are the two things up for environmental health today. On the public health side of things, new for us is we partner with Johnson County Public Health. We're going to be offering STD testing here in our office. To start with, we're going to coincide with our Thursday walk-in clinics. So the testing can be by walk-in or by appointment on the 20th and the 27th from 1 to 4. They're able to offer HIV, Hep C, syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea testing free of charge and confidentially with follow-up for any positive results. So they're going to be here with us on the 20th and 27th offering that. Mosquito trapping wrapped up. That ended at the end of September. I think I updated you guys with a written one. I wasn't able to attend, but they did find the species that we've been looking for the last 5 years. And I just want to clarify, that means they found the species capable of carrying disease. We did not find disease. So that's the Aedes albopictus, commonly known as the Asian tiger mosquito. So we found one here in Louisa County. As far as I know, well, I don't know until they send out the contract next year whether we'll do it again, but they seem to think that we'll just continue trapping to see what else we find or how many more we find, but I don't know for sure for next year. And then October is a busy month for us with immunization audits and flu vaccine. So we've been giving flu vaccine for a while now. We're offering it as a walk-in on our Thursday afternoon clinics. And then we also have quite a few private businesses we go to who ask us to come in, and schools to get their employees. So we're working on that. And we have 3 community clinics set up coming up. The first one is this Thursday in Letts at the Methodist Church. That'll be from 9 to 11 this Thursday. And then Wednesday, the 19th, we will be in Junction at the Senior Center from 9 to 11. And then we will do the Morning Sun Community Center Thursday evening, the 20th, from 4 to 6. So those are our communities coming up for those who can't get out here to our Wapello walk-in clinics. Those will be for anybody 6 months and older. Also, it's bivalent boost time. We've been giving that for a while now. So we do have that in the Moderna bivalent booster for COVID. We are not doing walk-in for that just because we're back to trying to minimize waste. So we're asking people call for appointments for that. We give a lot on Thursday afternoons, but we also will do by appointment other times if they're not able to come, and that we have a group of people come in together. So that's dosed in 5 doses per vial. So it's a little easier than the 10 dose vials to get done, but we still are trying to minimize the waste on that there. But we do have them and are giving them.
How long do you have to wait since your last booster?
2 months. So we have the Moderna only, so it's for 18 years and older. And then you have to have completed your primary series. So you either needed your 2 doses of Pfizer, 2 doses of Moderna, or your 1 dose of J&J. So if you completed that primary, then you're eligible. If you did not complete that primary, we take you back to the old vaccine to do that, complete that. Then you wait 2 months for the new bivalent. So, and that's across the board. So we cannot give old vaccine now for boost doses, and we cannot give boost doses for new people first getting it. But yeah, as long as it's been 2 months since your last dose of whatever it was, you're eligible.
I'll build off that question. Can you get your flu shot at the same time?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
Yep, we're doing a lot of 2 in 1.
Gotcha.
1-stop shop for both. Yeah. So yes, you can. What else? Immunization audits. We are halfway done with the schools. The schools are due first before the daycares. I have to have schools submitted to the state by October 28th. So we have 2 of them done, and then we will hit the other 2 and wrap it up. So I have time to compile the data the last week of October for the state. And then I'll reach out to our daycare, childcare centers to schedule them. They're not due till a little bit later. So that's where we're at. Any questions?
Is everything still good out there after you got things cleaned up? I know it was the hassle. Thanks for all your help, but everything's good out there as far as no problems.
Yes, everything is, we're dry and haven't had any more problems. The only thing, and Leisha's actually out here today, I was going to ask her about it. The center chart room, lock chart area, they had to elevate the file cabinets and stuff because it was so wet in there, and they're not put back, and I can't move them. So that's my last thing. If there's some, and maybe even Tracy could probably just help us out with that. I need someone just to come with a dolly or something and help us push those back where they belong. They're still on these foamy things that we can't slide. So that's all I have left. So if Tracy can come help us, I can ask him to, but that's it. Otherwise, we're good. What's that?
You want me to ask him, or you gotta call him?
I can call him. I can get a hold of him. It's not a big deal.
Well, let us know if there's anything else, but
Okay.
it was a mess for a little while. Yeah.
It was, yes, it was. And loud.
Yes. Yeah. 500 fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Have a good day.
see you at 1:30.
All right. Can't wait.
Literally, I think they had like 25 fans. Well, it says rain coming right on the bottom of our screen, so must be our national radar right there. Never noticed that before.
Yeah,
Usually it's just a little round, like sun or whatever,
Yeah.
clouds.
I think I've seen this.
Mhm. You don't know if it's the cloud for the computer or the cloud for the weather.
Well, we hope it ain't a cloud for computer. If it's leaking, that's not a good thing.
No, not this time. That cloud's over here, right there.
Yep.
100% at 10 o'clock, 80 at 11, 80 at 12.
Well, to 2 o'clock.
3 o'clock, 50%.
It'll wait till about 10 after 1, right when I go to lunch.
And then small chance at 8 PM. Or all night, really.
Tomorrow looks about the same.
Get those payouts.
Oh, yeah. There we are.
You sure? What's the other on letterhead? Oh, that was, okay. We didn't sell any plat books, so we'll.
Darn it.
I know.
Guys, you're gonna have to send her to sales training, aren't we? You got more than her. Wait for that.
We could charge for voters, we'd be rolling in it.
Dale Carnegie course in your future.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that Dale Carnegie for a long time.
And get friends and influence people.
There you go, that's
You can send me those 2 resolutions.
I'm gonna write it down, because I won't remember it if I don't.
Well, Mandy was in the
Oh,
paper
yeah.
or something.
Our conservation
Mhm.
dinner last night too. I
Yeah,
forgot to mention that.
Well, not yet, it won't be in there
Was
Print them
good
and
turnout.
for the resolution.
Probably 20.
The budget amendment was,
20, yeah.
yes, but not the actual resolution, but it will be in there as well.
Right. Oh, it could be right. Yeah.
I don't know if I still have the papers at home or since I'm off.
That's too close a friends to
Yeah.
sit here and worry about this stuff, because all we're gonna go over is the,
Are you okay with the, it's like 20, to move in buildings from Hanks? I think it was like, I'm thinking 18,000 to move in buildings out. That's what she's gonna ask for. So.
yeah, we're gonna take it. to move it, yeah, which is fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure. you
Yeah,
guys-
no, I'm okay with that. All right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
See what's going on. Don't overthink it. Okay, we'll see y'all. I can't remember what the hell I'm doing.
What are you doing?
Well, I have my stuff laying here.
Is she coming or is she gonna be on Zoom?
I don't know. Usually it shows up, but we still got
Yeah, I know,
6 minutes, but. Oh, one of the other things is I had a conservation meeting last night. We had our annual awards ceremony and luncheon last night after. And
Picnic.
yep, had a picnic, intermeeting. Never surprised she was not here. No, she's not. I can explain it. I think I got it out. The truck's not here.
But she was gonna give the annual report, so. I'm gonna go down the hall. She shows up.
Okay.
Online.
Okay.
Click her in.
Yep, I'll do that.
we're an emergency here.
Yeah, if it was, we can't discuss it.
Oh, okay. Bad? Oh. So is Brian working? Adam and Brian and Cindy all are taking the day off. We had to lock it to come in. We're going to lock it.
Nobody in. Oh, where, was Brian? Oh, Brian was meeting the colonel for the EMA today. So I think he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the inspection.
Mm-hmm.
She says she's just coming into town. In like 2 minutes.
Stopwatch is on.
She was just coming into town. She
In 2 minutes, that was a minute and a half ago.
See if state trooper follow her.
No.
So like some more.
Jim, you head south for the winter or anything?
I should, I don't know why I hang around here, it's too cold. You know, I'm freezing right now. You can't stand cold weather.
Can't either.
But I miss my grandkids and my kids.
Yep.
I gotta stay up here with the family.
Mine all live in other states, so.
You're lucky. You get to go down south then.
Yep.
It's gonna happen soon.
Yeah, winter isn't as fun as it used to be.
The older I get, this.
Yeah, I used to. Snow skiing, go up north ice fishing and
What'd you cook?
none of it sounds near as fun as it used to.
Why would you do that?
I'm sorry,
No big
everybody.
deal. No big deal.
I just didn't know if you were gonna be online, be in.
Well, I have those to hand out, so,
Flipping coins and taking bets.
and actually, Brad, you probably already have one of those from the meeting, so if you wanna make one to keep in this room copy or whatever, I'm sure you guys will,
put them right up there.
yeah,
So we have them face yours.
yeah, I'm sure you reference them often.
What do you do once in a while?
Been a busy morning. Okay, so, yeah, so that's the annual report, from FY '22. And so we did a presentation to the conservation board on it, like an actual PowerPoint and stuff. I was thinking about bringing that here, but, like I said, it's been a little crazy of a morning, and I know Brad's already seen it, and so, if you have any questions about it, I'd be more than willing to answer, or if you want to have time to glance through it and stuff and then come back, you could do that, but we approved that, I think 2 months ago at our meeting, and I accidentally gave my only signed copy to Jim, so I had to get it re-signed. and that's it. So the other thing that I have for you today, and I don't know if you, I think I'm on the agenda for next.
That's why I didn't know if you still
Mine-
wanted to be, or if you wanted to consider this your update and.
Yeah, so my other thing for kind of my update is that last night at the Conservation Board meeting, we approved a bid to move the buildings from the Wapello Development Corporation property to the shop. And so I submitted a bid this morning to Mike Hodges for purchasing the other building, the biggest of the three buildings. They've given us the two smaller ones. We just have to move them. And we got a bid from Mark Zeiser that we approved, assuming that we get the bigger building. And so the total cost, it's gonna be $20,000 to have all three of the buildings and get them all moved to our maintenance shop. And so I wanted to request ARPA funds for that. I don't know if you're taking requests, or I know we briefly talked about it at the last meeting. But that would be the cost to greatly improve the space that we have at our maintenance shop for all of our equipment and everything in operations.
Room there for all these buildings?
Yes,
How big is the two free ones, I guess?
there's a 16 by 20 and a 16 by 36 and a 12 by 20. And then the bigger one is 36 by 54. So we were gonna put the two smaller ones along our west fence row so that they'd be facing the east, so that we could park equipment and everything. So a lot of the stuff that's there already would get put underneath those buildings. And we prioritize, of course, what was gonna go under there. We have a pile of concrete we'll have to move and stuff to get it in there. And then that cost does not include putting footings down, so we're gonna have to put footings in the ground to set the bigger building on. We talked about like sonotubes and concrete, and then he'll set the building on there so that we have a level spot to set it, and then we'll probably just fill it with gravel for now, the biggest building, and then maybe some point down the line put concrete in there. So
The machine shed will probably keep this cold storage.
Yeah.
And then heat the other one eventually when we got some work to get done on it, but
We're still on track to put cement in the,
not this year because of, get this one in here, but
It's-
yeah.
still in the, cause that needs.
And then we get some building maintenance that needs a roof and the steels, but the bones are good on the building, but we just need to fix it.
Fix it. Put some money into it before you don't have that.
Right.
yeah, so it'll be tight to get them all out there, but it'll work.
That'd be nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And Randy gave his thumbs up, so he had to leave. But,
Oh, okay.
so let's go ahead and discussion, possible action. So of using some of our ARPA funds to move that
For 20.
right around 20,000. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know if we'll just spend money out of the conservation budget to do we don't have the exact figures yet for the concrete to go underneath it, the sonotubes or whatever to set the building on. And then we're probably also gonna have secondary roads help us fill in the ditch there. We've already talked to Adam about that so that we can have a little bit better access to the building, because we're probably gonna need another entrance into the area, because that grass just to the south side of our drive is where the bigger building will have to go.
And that beach is pretty steep.
Yeah.
You want to do a motion?
Well, our general consensus or motion?
Well, we probably ought to do a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we appropriate 20,000 of ARPA money to move these buildings for the conservation.
Yeah, and Randy gave his thumbs up also, so I'll second that.
And I should say that's contingent upon getting the building, because they've still gotta approve our bid. I turned that in this morning to Mike, and I think he's gonna send an email out to the group and ask them to vote on it sooner rather than later, because he said you don't have a meeting till November. And I said, if you want, hi. I said, if you want the buildings moved by December 1, we're gonna have to get on Mark Zeiser's list to get it done so that we can be ready to go. So I'll probably call him and tell him that we're planning on it.
kind of
And
get an idea.
we
'cause
still
have
want
to-
him to move the 2 smaller ones, even
Right.
if we don't get the big one, right?
Because I gotta take the bush out there at Hank's property on the corners, and then we have to widen that driveway, so if we can get a kind of approximate idea, and then
Okay.
I'll take my lift out there and lift them bushes.
Well, we also need the corn out.
Corn's out,
Oh, it is? Okay.
yeah, it's
I
been
haven't
out for
been
about
down
2
there.
weeks.
Oh, okay, good. Good. So,
You were gonna widen the driveway at the ditch? Is that
Yeah.
our ditch or you guys?
It's county ditch, but we have to widen it, and then we'll take it back up.
Out there to Hank's property?
Yeah, to
Oh,
make that
let's
okay.
corner.
make the corner.
Okay, I understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And we talked about last meeting, you
Yeah.
had 2 bushes, and I'll just take the lift out and see if I can lift them out.
Yeah.
You look familiar, but I'm not sure.
Jim Kelgard.
Jim? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
nice
with
to
the
meet you.
Wapello Will.
Okay, okay. I'm Katie Hammond. Nice to meet you.
Okay. I think I saw you at another meeting.
Probably. I'm at a lot of meetings.
Yeah.
I'll believe it.
What else you got, Katie?
We had our picnic last night. I thought we had a pretty good turnout. There's quite a few people there. Recognized the Shopa family for, all the volunteer work that they did with us on all the Lapa Little Love Your County parks that we did this past year, as part of a community foundation grant. And so, we did that last night. Other things, I mean, everybody's just busy. The Nationals are doing programs and such. We looked at some work that needs to be done on the A-frame. So I think Jacob and Noah are gonna go out and try to work on that a little bit, here today or tomorrow. We have quite a few groups scheduled that are probably gonna be using it coming up. So try to get a couple of steps repaired and such. What else? We're expecting the playground equipment to ship on the 2nd. I had to run out there today and measure the sidewalk because they're trying to get a bill to me by Thursday so that we can get the concrete guys paid. They're all done and out of there. Playground equipment should be coming. Hopefully the weather holds enough to be able to install the surfacing. It's got to be above 43 degrees to do the surfacing, so that'll be the kicker.
We get it here in October. Hopefully it'll work.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not scheduled till November to get shipped or something?
November 2nd was the latest date. He was gonna try to push that forward.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah,
Do we have a place to keep that?
the equipment, it's supposed to ship directly there. So it's in a warehouse, so my original understanding was that whenever we're ready, we just say, bring it. And in fact, there was one day when I was gone on vacation that they called and said, we just want to make sure that you got all the fabric because nobody said you got the fabric. And so they sent Jacob out there, there's no humongous rolls of fabric out there. And so we're like, no, but it's all in the warehouse together with the playground equipment. So I don't know if the trucking is the hang up now or what, but he's trying to get a rush on it to get it to us. Cause I mean, by next week we could put it in, our concrete will be cured. So
Besides that, if something happens, weather's below where we need it to be when it gets shipped, is anything, do we want to ship this?
I would think no, I would say hold on to
I would
it
too.
because we don't want it to just sit out there and
Well, theft would
it's
be.
in the middle of nowhere. Yeah,
Just something to think about.
yeah,
I don't want to be, but it sounds like the weather's gonna change real quick.
yeah, yeah. And who knows by November? Cause
Supposed to be 30-mile-an-hour winds for the next 5 days after, and 46 for high.
yeah, so it should be in the 80s by November.
I hope so. Hope you're right.
And the things before for Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah, you never know. We've had some December days that were pretty warm, so we just need to catch a break really. But the key will be to catch a break at the same time that we can get the equipment delivered, which is probably less likely. We did deny the bids on the truck last night. We only had one truck bid on and it was bigger and more expensive than what we were hoping for. It was one sitting on a lot, so I talked to him today already and let him know that we were gonna reject all bids. And what was the other thing we did?
Mower.
Oh, yeah, and we talked to him this morning. He's gonna get back to us with the warranty. Basically, it's the same warranty, it's just extended out to 36 months. But Noah asked him if that would cover the DPF. and he's gonna get back to us with that. So we did tell him that we're gonna go with the 1580, and we're still deciding on the extended warranty. He is gonna rebid it for me a little bit, because if we decided to go with the municipal lease, which would be a monthly payment with the option to buy it for $1 at the end of our 36 months. And if we make if we make 3 yearly payments instead of 36 monthly payments, it'll cut down on the interest because we'll pay out more faster. And so it's probably going to be slightly less than what we approved last night. So I figured that's always good.
Yep.
That'll save a lot of claim filling out. So
Excellent.
one less bill every month. And then it makes it easier to pay it out of the reserve account also, because you're just doing once a year. So I don't think that'll be a problem. What else? You were at the meeting.
I think you got it covered. The A-frame was the biggest thing that we went and looked at. And it's just needing some repairs. It hasn't been repaired for a long time, and it's just,
It's getting a real old building.
yeah.
Yeah,
Was it built in the
probably 69, 70, early 70s, something like that.
very fixable though. I mean, it's just needs some TLC, a new steel, a little bit of eaves, fascia, steps, maybe a deck, a little concrete, but other than that, I think it'd be ready.
Well, you could spruce that up a lot.
Yeah.
Cheaper than.
And it's an
replacing it.
asset out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's kind of an icon with the apron
something
shape
that-
and stuff that
it's
it's,
a part of language.
yeah, it's recognizable. Monday, the Mississippi Parkway Commissioners from Iowa are all gonna be here. We're meeting at Toolsboro in the morning, and then we're gonna come to lunch at Arondis, and then finish our foundation meeting at Extension Office, so we don't have to drive back up to Toolsboro. So that'll be happening. Just busy all around. Halloween hike's coming up.
I seen you at Memphis at the Peabody.
Yeah,
Got to
have
watch
you
the
been down there
ducks.
before? That's a neat
Yeah,
little thing.
quite an ordeal for watching 5 ducks go across the carpet and up the elevator.
Yeah, I'm thinking in another life I should be a duck master. I didn't even know that was a job.
Wonder what it pays.
And he wears
Probably not that much.
And he wears a tuxedo every day.
Yeah. And has a fancy cane with a
Yeah.
head on it. Yeah, very cute. Yeah, that's the DOT sponsored that trip, so
Mm-hmm.
it's all covered by them.
I don't think there's anything else that we talked about.
Probably, that was kind of a shorter meeting. We mostly had the 3 bids, the mower, the truck, and the buildings, so. All right.
I'll
Thank
take
you,
you off
Katie.
for next week unless you want to specifically be on again.
Okay.
I want another meeting. Thanks, Kate.
Yes, I did take some pictures. I can send those.
Okay.
I have, I don't know how many I took of people there, but I have one of
A motion
the
to adjourn.
Shilpa group, and
I'll second it.
took some of the staff and
adjourned.
board and stuff, so.
Okay.
I will send you some. Yes. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you for the ARPA funds to move the building.
Oh,
Much appreciated.
good deal for everybody.
Bye.
See you, Jim.
Probably today. Okay. Just like I said, drop it off at the motel.
Yeah, I will.
Thanks, Jim.
You bet.
Take care.
Bye.